This has got to be the most random movie Hollywood has ever come out with. So The Jesus Rolls is a loosely based spin-off of The Big Lebowski, centered around the popular Big Lebowski bowler, the Jesus Quintana. The film is written by, directed by, and starring John Turturro, and follows Jesus Quintana hours after his release from prison as he pairs up with a few of his sexual deviant friends on a freewheeling joyride of petty crime and romance. For all you guys who might personally know me or have been watching my channel for a long time, some of you might know that I'm a huge Big Lebowski fan. It's honestly, my opinion, one of the greatest comedies of all time. So I was pretty intrigued when news came out that they were making a spin-off based on John Turturro's character, the Jesus.
Nobody fucks with the Jesus.
The Jesus was definitely one of the funnier characters of The Big Lebowski besides John Goodman's character Walt. Even though he was only in like 2 scenes, the Jesus was so over the top. He left an impression in the movie, so much so that we still remember that character all these years later. If you're like me and you're watching this primarily because of its connection to the Big Lebowski universe, I just want to let you know that don't get your hopes up. This, for the most part, is a standalone movie that's more of a remake of the 1974 movie Going Places than it is a sequel or even a spin-off of the Big Lebowski. Now, there are a few Big Lebowski references mixed in here, the biggest one being how the Jesus got accused of being a pedophile. If you remember watching the Big Lebowski, there's a scene where Walter tells Lebowski that the Jesus is a pedophile, but the movie doesn't really delve too much into Jesus beyond that. In fact, in the Big Lebowski, the only thing we know about the Jesus is that 1, he's Puerto Rican, 2, he likes to bowl, 3, he has a very, very long pinky nail, and 4, he's very, very sexual. The Big Lebowski made the Jesus out to be more of a one-note joke, which makes sense because he was only in the movie for like 2 scenes. But I gotta give credit to John Turturro here for actually trying to make the Jesus into more of a fully fleshed character, and he pretty much does that here by surrounding the Jesus with so many outlandish supporting characters. It honestly makes the Jesus look like Jesus Christ by comparison. You got Bobby Cannavale, who plays Peter, the Jesus' degenerate friend, Audrey Tautou, who's basically just playing a nymphomaniac, Susan Sarandon, who's also playing a nymphomaniac, you got John Hamm, Christopher Walken, Pete Davidson, J.B. Smoove, all ridiculous characters, and they all have to be ridiculous characters in order for the Jesus to be the most relatable, but in trying to make the Jesus the most relatable character, the movie itself ends up feeling childish and very sophomoric.
You're looking for trouble. No. You're beautiful. I almost want to touch you.
Now, don't get me wrong, the Jesus is definitely the most exciting thing about this movie. You'll laugh in appreciation when he's doing his trademark Big Lebowski shtick, but this performance by John Turturro gets overshadowed once you realize how repetitive this movie is. This movie is basically about 2 guys taking a bunch of joyrides in stolen cars and having weird threesomes with weird women. That's it. That's the movie. The movie is very sexual, very weird. I honestly felt like I was watching a movie that was written and directed by a horny 15-year-old high school teenager. By the end, guys, and if I'm being honest, probably like 20 minutes in, you can tell John Turturro was trying very hard to make a movie in the spirit of the Coen brothers. But there's a reason why the Coen brothers can't be imitated. They have a touch for the absurd and a gift for dialogue, both of which are lacking here. And without those qualities, the Jesus wears out its welcome early on in the journey. I'm going to give this movie a C-. It's a road trip movie that might attract a cult following of its own, but expect the Jesus to have an exponentially lower amount of followers than the Big Lebowski. If you're a diehard fan of The Big Lebowski, you might enjoy the first 30 minutes of this movie, and you'll appreciate the subtle references, but if you're wondering if this is a must-see for a Big Lebowski fan, it's really not, even if I wanted it to be. But alright guys, that's my review of the Jesus Rolls. What do you think about the Jesus Rolls? Did you like the direction that was taken with this movie? Or do you think the Jesus should have went another direction? Let me know in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on the latest movie releases and reviews. And remember, movies may fade, but real legends never die.